All right, here is the unit test lecture, and we have our script set up using Mocha as our test runner here. So now we need to make sure that we have the correct dependencies. So, Alex, what do we do?
npm install --save -dev.
Okay. So we're installing chai, our assertion library, and then we're going to install Mocha, our test runner. It's very common for people to npm install -g or global to your global npm repository locally for Mocha so that they don't have to install it every time. This is great for local use. It might be a hindrance for someone else who doesn't know that it needs to be globally installed, so when they go to run the command, they won't have it in their local repository. So I would recommend that you keep it in your dev dependencies, which just populated here. So now we're going to go to our test.js, and I'm going to say let, and then what's this called? Add two numbers equals require. This is a file, so /app add two numbers. And then I'm going to pull in expect equals require chai dot expect. First thing that we need to do is describe. And we are verifying that the add two numbers function works. And now we need to write a test. So it should add two integers. So let num1 equals 1, let num2 equals 2. And then let output equals add two numbers then expect output dot to, and you'll see that like as you go down here it will like show you what library these are. So there's more than just two. There's like close to, greater than, less than, that. I'm not sure what all of these mean. You'd have to read on the chai documentation. So 2 dot, let's see what we have here. So true, I know that we have equal, equals, and then we're going to say it should be equal to 3. Okay. Looks like I had my syntax a little bit wrong here. So function left to right parenth Okay, so first parameter of describe and it will be the identification of it, and the second will actually be your function or callback that will execute everything with inside of it. So just a slight difference. So instead of having describe your code and then brackets, it needs to have a second parameter of your function. So let's see if this works. Cool. So we've written a function that verifies that two numbers work. So then we would want to go on and add some more use cases here. So my next thing that I would do is it should add two numeric strings. And then let num1 equals 1, let num2 is 2, let output equals add two numbers. Copying and pasting is great, by the way. Should have done that. So we'll try running this again. Now we have two passing. Now I'm not sure how this evaluates if it uses a double equal or a triple equal, so let's find out. So it looks like it uses a triple equal, so you need to have type and value specified correctly inside of your assert. And here's what an assertion error looks like when it fails. And then I would probably have one final check. Let's say it should not add. It should not concatenate two strings. And I'm just going to shorthand this. Let output equals add two numbers. Hi there. Expect a do not. See how this runs. So you would have a test like this in case someone would come in later and modify your code and get rid of this ternary logic. So if they change this to look something like return num1 plus num2 with, or if they did this into your code, because that's simple enough, but now it's going to concatenate any strings that you taught together. That would be a breaking change that would not do what it was correctly supposed to do. So we'd also have some negative testing here. So let's try running this again. To not be is not a function. All right. To not. So now I'm going to say chai assertion not equal.
There it says expectation.
Oh yeah. What was that, Alex?
Up there in the introduction.
Do not. Is this not what I did here? Not recommended. All right. Oh. Okay. So we'll just try this really quick. All right. So there's an example of unit testing my one function. You'll see that for each function that we have, you would probably have more than one unit test for each. You'd have what your expected output, which would also be considered a happy path. That's a common industry term. And then you would also want to have examples of how it should not behave. Someone might change your function to do in the future. So with that, you guys have an assignment that's due Monday. You guys are not writing a web service this time. So you will clone or pull latest from my repository here. And I have a unit test under assignments. Don't grab the unit test. That's an example at the root of this. So go assignments unit test. And there I have a app.js that has 3 functions: concatenate words, remove character and string, and add odd numbers. And I export those. So I want you guys to use Mocha, create a test script file that will test those. I'd like at least 5 unit tests total for those 3 functions. More would be great. Extra credit is possible. Also, if you use something besides expect for an assert, you might get extra credit there. And I'd be even more impressed if you didn't use chai. So, are there any questions?
Wait, so we're making a branch off of your repository?